This is Unit 15 of Pimsleur's Arabic 2.
اسمع المحادثة
You'll hear
الجمعة الجاية.
next week.
هادي بالسلامة.
بالسلامة؟ بس ليش؟
مو رايح بإجازة بكرة؟
لا أنا مسافر الجمعة الجاية. وإنتي إمتى مسافرة بإجازة؟
عندي شغل كتير، مو ممكن نروح بإجازة.
يا خسارة.
اسمع مرة تانية.
هادي بالسلامة.
بالسلامة؟ بس ليش؟
مو رايح بإجازة بكرة؟
لا أنا مسافر الجمعة الجاية. وإنتي إمتى مسافرة بإجازة؟
عندي شغل كتير، مو ممكن نروح بإجازة.
يا خسارة.
Now you're having coffee with a colleague in a cafe. You notice your coffee isn't very hot. Ask her, is your coffee cold?
قهوتك باردة؟ قهوتك باردة؟
She says, no, it's very good.
لا منيحة كتير.
It's not cold.
لا مو باردة.
اسأل
Where's the sugar?
وين السكر؟
Later, how would you ask her, is your coffee still hot?
لسه قهوتك سخنة؟
She answers, yes, it's very good, and it's not cold.
إيه منيحة كتير ومو باردة.
It's still very hot.
لسه سخنة كتير.
She tells you, I'm traveling to Italy tomorrow.
مسافرة لإيطاليا بكرة.
قول
There's a concert on Tuesday.
في حفلة 3.
She says, that's too bad.
يا خسارة.
قول
I don't understand.
ما فهمت.
She explains, I'm traveling to Italy tomorrow.
مسافرة لإيطاليا بكرة.
I can't go to the concert with you.
مو ممكن روح على الحفلة معك.
قول
We can go together after your trip.
ممكن نروح سوا بعد سفرتك. بعد سفرتك.
How would you tell her to have a good trip?
بالسلامة.
Now she asks you, when are you traveling on vacation?
إمتى مسافر على الإجازة؟
قول
I'm going Thursday night.
رايح الخميس بالليل.
Thursday night after work.
الخميس بالليل بعد الشغل.
You want to tell her, I'm traveling to Egypt.
اسمع أعيد
مسافر لمصر. مصر. مسافر لمصر.
And how do you say, I'm going to Egypt?
رايح لمصر.
Here's how she says, Egypt is very beautiful.
اسمع أعيد
مصر حلوة كتير. حلوة. حلوة كتير. مصر حلوة كتير.
Now say again that you're traveling to Egypt.
مسافر لمصر.
She wants to say, there are many things to see there.
اسمع أعيد.
في شي كتير تشوفه هنيك. تشوفه. شي كتير تشوفه. في شي كتير. في شي كتير تشوفه هنيك.
When referring to things, you use.
تشوفه.
Now say that you like Egypt a lot.
بحب مصر كتير.
She says again, Egypt is very beautiful.
مصر حلوة كتير.
How does she say, have a good trip?
بالسلامة.
How does she say there are many things to see there?
في شي كتير تشوفه هنيك.
How does she ask you, when are you traveling?
إمتى مسافر؟
Do you remember how to say, a few weeks?
كم أسبوع.
Now here's a new word for week, or a week.
اسمع أعيد.
جمعة. جمعة.
Continue to use this new word for now. Here's how she asks, this week?
اسمع أعيد.
هالجمعة؟ جمعة؟ هالجمعة؟
How does she ask, this week?
هالجمعة؟
جاوب.
No, not this week.
لا مو هالجمعة. مو هالجمعة.
This week I have a lot of work.
هالجمعة عندي شغل كتير.
Here's how you tell her, I'm traveling next week.
اسمع أعيد.
مسافر الجمعة الجاية. جاية. الجاية. الجمعة الجاية. أنا مسافر الجمعة الجاية.
Notice how the words run together. Say next week, literally the week the next.
الجمعة الجاية. الجاية.
How does she ask you, are you traveling next week?
مسافر الجمعة الجاية؟
Do you remember how to say Thursday?
الخميس. خميس.
Now try to say next Thursday.
الخميس الجاية. الجاية. الخميس الجاية.
Remembering that you're speaking as a man, say, I'm traveling next Thursday to Egypt.
مسافر الخميس الجاية لمصر.
Your colleague says, there are many things to see in Egypt.
في شي كتير تشوفه بمصر.
Egypt is very beautiful.
مصر حلوة كتير. حلوة كتير.
Speaking about a man, say, this week my friend is coming to visit me.
هالجمعة رفيقي جاي يزورني.
But without his wife.
بس بلا مرته. بلا مرته.
She says, "That's too bad."
يا خسارة. يا خسارة.
He will stay until next Thursday.
حيبقى للخميس الجاي. حيبقى للخميس الجاي.
His wife is traveling in Italy.
مرته مسافرة بإيطاليا.
Your friend tells you Italy is very beautiful.
إيطاليا حلوة كتير.
Now here's the word for the weather.
اسمع أعيد.
الطقس. طقس. الطقس.
How do you ask a friend, "How's it going?"
كيف الحال؟
Now try to ask, "How's the weather?"
كيف الطقس؟ كيف الطقس؟
How does your colleague ask, "How's the weather in Egypt now?"
كيف الطقس بمصر هلأ؟ كيف الطقس بمصر هلأ؟
She says to you, "You're going to Egypt next week."
رايح لمصر الجمعة الجاية؟
Egypt is very beautiful.
مصر حلوة كتير.
But how's the weather there now?
بس كيف الطقس هنيك هلأ؟
You want to tell her that the weather's not cold. Here's the word cold for weather, which is a masculine word.
اسمع أعيد.
بارد. بارد.
Try to say, "The weather's not cold."
الطقس مو بارد. بارد.
You want to say that it's nice.
اسمع أعيد.
حلو. حلو. حلو كتير.
How do you say "very nice" when referring to the weather?
حلو كتير.
She asks again, "How's the weather in Egypt now?"
كيف الطقس بمصر هلأ؟
The weather's very nice.
الطقس حلو كتير.
جاوب.
In Egypt, the weather's very nice now.
بمصر الطقس حلو كتير هلأ.
How do you think you would say, "It isn't very nice in Damascus now"?
مو حلو كتير بالشام هلأ. مو حلو. مو حلو كتير بالشام هلأ.
You use a different word for hot when describing the weather. Here's how to say, "It's very hot at the moment."
اسمع أعيد.
شوب كتير هلأ. شوب. شوب كتير هلأ.
The weather in Damascus isn't nice today.
الطقس بالشام مو حلو اليوم. الطقس.
It's very hot.
شوب كتير.
Now it's another day and you're speaking with a colleague in Damascus. Say that you're going to Egypt next week.
رايح لمصر الجمعة الجاية.
She says, Egypt is very beautiful.
مصر حلوة كتير.
How does she ask, how's the weather in Egypt?
كيف الطقس بمصر؟
Say that in Damascus it's not very hot at the moment.
بالشام مو شوب كتير هلأ.
But in Egypt it's very nice.
بس بمصر حلو كتير.
It's not cold.
مو بارد. مو بارد.
And it's not hot.
ومو شوب. ومو شوب.
She asks again, how's the weather?
كيف الطقس؟
جاوب
It's very nice now.
حلو كتير هلأ.
It's not hot and it isn't cold.
مو شوب ومو بارد.
قول
I'm going to Egypt next week. And you?
رايح لمصر الجمعة الجاية. وأنتي؟
When are you traveling on vacation?
إمتى مسافرة على الإجازة؟ مسافرة على الإجازة.
Do you remember how to say a few dollars?
كم دولار؟ كم؟
Here's how she says, I'm not traveling for a few weeks.
اسمع أعيد
مو مسافرة كم جمعة. جمعة. كم جمعة. مو مسافرة كم جمعة.
How does she say for a few weeks?
كم جمعة.
She says, I prefer to wait until January or February.
بفضل استنى لكانون تاني أو شباط.
I have a lot of work at the moment.
عندي شغل كتير هلأ.
قول
That's too bad.
يا خسارة. يا خسارة.
You ask her how her husband is and say, I have a letter for him.
عندي رسالة إله. إله.
She tells you, I will see my husband after work.
حشوف جوزي بعد الشغل. حشوف.
She's leaving in a few minutes and offers to take the letter with her. She says, I will buy a coffee for him too.
حاشتري قهوة إله كمان.
After you order, she tells you, I'm not traveling for a few weeks.
مو مسافرة كم جمعة. كم جمعة.
How does she say, I'm going on vacation in February or January?
رايحة على الإجازة بشباط أو كانون تاني.
Ask her, where do you want to go?
وين بدك تروحي؟ وين بدك تروحي؟
To Egypt?
لمصر؟
She says, No, I know Egypt very well.
لا، بعرف مصر منيح كتير. مصر.
I want to go to England.
اسمع أعيد.
بدي روح لإنجلترا. إنجلترا. بدي روح لإنجلترا.
How does she say, I want to go to England?
بدي روح لإنجلترا. لإنجلترا.
There are many things to see in England.
في شي كتير تشوفه بإنجلترا. تشوفه.
To London.
اسمع أعيد.
للندن. لندن. للندن.
Ask her, how's the weather in England?
كيف الطقس بإنجلترا؟ كيف الطقس؟
In January.
بقانون تاني؟
How does she say, I don't know?
ما بعرف.
Ask her, you don't know England?
ما بتعرفي إنجلترا؟ إنجلترا؟ ما بتعرفي إنجلترا؟
She says, No, I haven't seen London yet.
لا، ما شفت لندن لسه. ما شفت لندن.
But I have some friends there.
بس عندي شوية رفقات هنيك. رفقات.
سؤال.
How's the weather in England?
كيف الطقس بإنجلترا؟ كيف الطقس بإنجلترا؟
In London?
بلندن؟
In January and in February?
بقانون تاني وبشباط؟
Try to ask, is the weather cold?
الطقس بارد؟ الطقس بارد؟
She answers you, Of course it's not hot, but it's nice.
طبعاً مو شوب، بس حلو. شوب.
And there are many things to see in England.
وفي شي كتير تشوفه بإنجلترا. تشوفه.
سؤال.
How's the weather?
كيف الطقس؟
She tells you, It's not very hot in Damascus at the moment.
مو شوب كتير بالشام هلأ. مو شوب كتير بالشام هلأ.
But in London, it's very nice.
بس بلندن حلو كتير.
Say that in Damascus, it's very hot sometimes.
بالشام شوب كتير أحياناً.
Say that you must leave now.
لازم أمشي هلأ. لازم أمشي هلأ.
She picks up the coffee for her husband and reminds you, I will see my husband after work.
حشوف جوزي بعد الشغل.
قول
Yes, I have a letter for him.
إيه عندي رسالة إله.
You need to get it from your car, and you ask her to wait a minute. She says, Of course, I have a coffee for him too.
طبعاً عندي قهوة إله كمان.
And it's still hot.
ولسه سخنة. سخنة.
You come back with the letter and you say, We can have lunch together after your trip.
ممكن نتغدى سوا بعد سفرتك.
All right, have a good trip.
طيب بالسلامة.
Now you're sightseeing with a friend. It's been raining for a few days. Say that the weather isn't nice.